All right, so here's a provocative question. Is reality television reducing teen pregnancy? Why would I ask that? Because a new study says the MTV show 16 and Pregnant and its spin-offs could have prevented as many as 20,000 teen births in 2010. How? Well, because of scenes like this.
I haven't heard from Matt since he bailed on Arabella's birthday, and I have no idea where he is. But I've been focusing on finishing my school assignments.
Hello?
And today I find out if I'll be able to graduate.
Joining us to break it down is Dr. Logan Levkoff. She's the author of the upcoming book, Got Teens, The Dr. Mom's Guide to Sexuality, Social Media, and Other Adolescent Realities, all things I'm hoping do not exist for my young kids. All right, doctor, let's start with what we hope is good news. Is teen pregnancy, are we seeing a decrease?
We are seeing a decrease, but it's not as simple as this Economist study, which is that, you know, reality TV plays a direct role. Those of us who work in public health know that teen pregnancy and teen sexuality in general is full of complexities. And what we're really seeing is a perfect storm of public health interventions paying off, our culture changing, better condom use, more access to contraceptives, better cultural conversations. It's not as simple as, you know, MTV, 16 and Pregnant, way to go.
And when you look at the study, they made the link between high viewership, areas of high viewership, and then a lower birth rate. But Dr. Drupinski made an interesting point, I thought, on this. He's hosted some reunion shows for these shows, and he had said that one of the problems that this show tackles is to get through to teens, you need a relatable source. And that's what he thinks that these shows accomplish. Do you think these shows help in that regard, or do you think they really have nothing to do with it and it's just a reality show?
Well, it depends. I think it's important to remember these shows are cast. We manufacture drama. They're not necessarily representative of the average teen mom and dad, and they still do perpetuate a lot of stereotypes we have about young mothers and these kind of deadbeat teen dads who aren't part of the picture. And there are a lot of young men and women working really hard to take care of their children in circumstances they may not have thought they'd ever be in before. So we're still a little bit exploitative, and we're not really getting to the root of it just yet.
So what do you think? You watch these shows, but you yourself in the mind of a teenager. What's your takeaway when you see this?
Hopefully we're saying, you know, these are challenges that I am not ready for, and these are decisions that I'm not ready to be making. I often wonder, though, if the characters, and they are somewhat characters and caricatures in many cases, if they look so far removed from our own life, then we kind of check out and we don't recognize the warning signs as they come up in our own worlds. We should, though, be talking about, you know, evaluating healthy relationships, how to make smart decisions about sex, and there's a lot of follow-up that needs to be done at home all the time.
The follow-up, okay, and that's the key, right? Because none of us fall into the category of being worried about being 16 and pregnant, but we do have to worry about how to keep a 16-year-old from becoming pregnant. So, when you look at it through the lens of the parent, how do you help this most sensitive, difficult to deal with age in this major concern?
Well, acknowledging that adolescent sexuality is an important part of adolescence, and to tackle it with respect and positivity, and to say, I want to help you evaluate decisions and I want to help you manage outcomes as they come up. But oftentimes we stick our heads in the sand, and I'm afraid that studies like this say to parents, okay, you know what, TV will do your job for you. And it can never do that. It can inspire a conversation, but that's about it.
One thing I do see in the show that I think is worthy and good takeaway is, as we all know, especially in inner cities and as you move into lower income groups, often a baby is seen as an avenue to dignity for a young woman, that I'm going to do this right. This will be someone who loves me. And at least you get to see through the show. It's a lot more complicated than that. Just because you have a baby doesn't mean that, you know, you have to now give it love more than you're going to receive from it, at least early on. Hopefully that message gets through.
Hopefully it does, but I want us to be clear that this is also perpetuating a lot of the old double standards about men and women and girls and boys and what they're entitled to, and what standards do we hold boys and girls to, and are they equal? And they're still not equal. So we really need to be working on that as much as we do with everything else that we see in our pop culture.
Dr. Logan Levkoff, appreciate it very much. The standard for boys who are around my two girls will be that I will beat you to death with your own hands. Is that a good standard? We'll discuss in the break.
The only time I'm going to say that's okay. I'm just kidding.